So on that next question, what escaped from our cup in step 4, guys?
Air.
Air escaped. And what took the air's place?
The paper towel. Water.
Water took its place. So when water took the air's place, what do we know happened to the paper towel? The paper towel got wet. So the air acted as its own barrier, right? It protected that paper towel up until a certain point when we let the air out. And what took its place?
The water.
The water took its place. Good. Was the air able to keep the paper towel dry?
Yes.
Yes, it was. And we don't need to do that. But down in number 3, it says draw and label your activity when the cup was in the water and share where the air was. So draw it out. Draw the cup upside down with the paper towel in it and label those parts. Where was the water? Where was the air? Where was the paper towel? Where was the cup? And do a quick sketch and label of what we did up here in that experiment. Go ahead and take 2 minutes to get that done. So is it a quick sketch? Definitely. So down in the box, a quick sketch of what we just did. You have that cup, you have the paper towel, and you're labeling the parts. Do your best with spelling. In your Be a Scientist notebook, there is a section where it wants you to read about weather. So it says read page 152 and page 153 in your science notebook. Answer the following questions after you finish reading. So I want us to take a moment to look at the questions. Point to question number 1 on page 95. Point to question number 1 on page 95. Read it with me. Where does weather occur? So I'm sure lots of you have predictions or things that you would like to put down. But what we are going to do is we're going to read for evidence today of where exactly does weather occur. And we're going to be able to answer that today after these 2 short pages. Go ahead and point to question number 2. Read it with me. What causes the air temperature to change? So we're going to be reading for those things today. Where does weather occur? And what causes the air temperature to change? You guys ready? So we're on page 152. And we are reading about weather and climate. And our first heading is weather. Weather is what the air is like outside at a certain time and place. And we just read that when we went over vocabulary, right? Even though you cannot see air, you can see it move things, such as the leaves of trees. You can feel the air as a breeze on your face. Weather changes from day to day. It can also change from hour to hour or even minute to minute. The air that surrounds Earth is part of the atmosphere. Another one of those words we went over. The atmosphere is a blanket of gases and tiny bits of dust that surround the Earth. So it's like taking a blanket and laying it over our Earth, but that blanket's not made out of cotton. That blanket that's laying all around it is going to be made of tiny bits of dust and gases, okay? But it's surrounding our entire Earth. When you get in bed at night and you're covered up in your blankets, are you completely surrounded? Yeah. So that's why they're comparing it to that blanket there, because it's completely surrounding our Earth. The atmosphere has several layers. Weather occurs in the layer closest to Earth. What did you just notice? Haley figured it out. We just answered the question. Question number 1 was, where does weather occur? Weather occurs in the layer of the atmosphere closest to Earth. So should you be writing your answer to number 1?
Yeah.
Most definitely. Weather occurs in the layer of the atmosphere closest to Earth. We're going to move on in just a second, so you have to get it written. We're going to keep reading, okay? Our next page, we have a heading, and our heading says temperature. So we're going to be reading about temperature, which is great because our next question is what causes the air temperature to change? So we're going to read to find out what causes the air temperature to change today. When people describe weather, they describe the air and its temperature. Temperature is the measure of how hot or cold something is. A thermometer is a tool that measures temperature. The air changes temperature because of energy from the sun. Haley's on it, Viola's on it. The air changes temperature because of energy from the sun. The sun heats Earth's land and water. The land and water heat the air above them. The sun's heat is more direct at midday than it is at sunrise or at sunset. And third graders, this is perfect because in math, we're starting to learn about different tools of measurement as well. Well, the tool we use for measuring temperature is a thermometer. And we see two different ways of measuring on our thing here. If we look at the thermometer that they picture, they're giving us a C and an F. That C stands for Celsius. The F stands for Fahrenheit. You and I, when we talk about our weather and the temperature outside, we use Fahrenheit to describe. Other countries use Celsius. It's going to be the metric unit of measurement for temperature. So like this is saying it's going to be about 75 degrees out on the Fahrenheit side. Well, that's only like 20 some degrees in Celsius. It's the exact same temperature, just a different way of saying it. Theirs is nice because water boils at 100 and freezes at 0, where ours is different. Theirs makes more sense. But to answer our question that we had, what causes the air temperature to change? Right? The sun's energy causes the temperature to change. The sun heats up what? Earth's land and Earth's water, and those are then going to heat up the air as well. Fabulous. Make sure you have both of those pieces done, and we are going to pause there for today. Sound good? Perfect.